Students of Success, Dr. Mike here. A win for me does not mean a loss for you. What does that mean? In today's society, basically, the mentality has come across where if somebody is winning, that means they are either taking advantage of something or somebody else is losing. The way the world works is that people do not have to lose for somebody else to win. And this is really pounded into people's heads when they see wealthy people. They think that as soon as they see somebody driving down the road that's driving a really nice car or has a very nice house, their first thought is, who did they screw over? Somebody's got to be losing for them to be winning. And this is completely negative and wrong mentality, because when we start thinking like this and we have these beliefs, they become true to us. If you believe that success means that somebody else had to be screwed over and lose, then you will never reach any level of success. And I have a lot of different examples of this. So basically, on the positive side, that person who's the business owner that has the wealth. Now, just understand that there are always exceptions to the rule. There's going to be 1% of anything that is an exception to the rule, because there are evil people out there. I've come across them. That will be an exception to the rule. But overall, in general terms, for a person in any industry to become wealthy, to become successful, they have got to have an exchange of value. So that person that owns that grocery store, that retail outlet, the car dealership, they are not getting wealthy by screwing people over. That is an exchange of value between the owner and the customer. The customer wins by getting the car. The owner wins by getting a profit. If the car was no good, the food was no good, the retail, the clothing, whatever they're at was no good, the customer would not buy. This is capitalism. This is America. We are not forced to buy one product. Now, that is a retail and an economy type example that is very easily to see, but people are still infected by that disease. But the one that I really want to talk about is where people in your life, specifically people that are closer to you, feel like if you're winning, then they must be losing. And how is this so? Let's just take education for an example. Some people who do not value education or don't want to put the time and the effort into it, when you try to do it, when you take 2 steps forward and they aren't taking any steps, they're staying where they're at, they feel like your win is their loss. So the further you keep going to progress yourself in your educational journey, they feel like they are losing and losing more, which is absolutely ridiculous, because they have the opportunity and the choice to come along on the journey as well. But if they don't choose to, they will do everything in their power to try to destroy you. I have a personal example of this, and the only way to be able to fix this is I call it just elimination to gain. I had to do this with my own mother. As I was progressing on my education journey, being the first one in the family to go to college, the further along I got, the more hate I got. The more you think you're better than everybody else, the more that they wish for your failure. And you can't deal with that type of stuff. You have to be able, no matter who it is in your life, even if it is family, you've got to eliminate that, because you only have one chance in this life. You know, if their reality is that if you stay down here, it helps their feelings, well, that's crazy. I've gone almost 15 years not talking to my mother, and it was the best decision that I ever made, because it has allowed me to be able to go on my journey and then to be able to teach my kids to go on that journey too, that are all off in amazing schools, graduate schools, and they're all going to be doctors and lawyers. And that is all because I eliminated that person from my life. If I would have left her in my life and allowed that negativity to continue to flow and to flow and to flow, I'm afraid that it would have gone on to my children. Now, there's also, that's basically the career education path. And boy, if you fall, they love to see you fail. Love it. They relish in your fall. So you have to get rid of these people. And the best revenge is just outstanding success. So you can just rub it into them. And they have to live with that. Now, the other one that's very difficult and that I talk a lot about is the health side of things. He said, I look around and I see, and I'm talking to the men here, I see a lot of these guys that are overweight, out of shape, and unfortunately their wives are in the same ballpark. And whenever one person in a relationship decides to take on that journey and the other person doesn't, it goes the same way. They become resentful, and that if your wins mean their losses. How do you deal with this? This is a great question, because there are some people that you maybe can't eliminate from your life. So you either have to give up on your journey, which to me is a non-negotiable. That will never happen because it's who I am. Or the other one is you have to really start to eliminate these people from your life. And I don't really know how you do that at this point right now, but you have to be able to make some real decisions. Because as I start to really talk about things, that if you are not the most important person in your life, if you don't care the most about you, nobody else will. Everybody is dealing with their own stuff. You cannot save the world if you don't save yourself first, to be that example. But just understand, if you are on the flip side of this, people that are winning in life do not mean that you are losing. You've got to take personal responsibility for the things in your life and make those choices and those changes yourself. Nobody, I don't care if it's a coach, if it's a mentor, if it's you can't force people to do things. They've got to be able to do it themselves. And if their identity is, I am a fat person, or I am a stupid person, no type of behavioral change is going to help them. You have to be able to adjust your own identity of who you are. Because if you believe that you are a fat person and that is your identity, no amount of dieting, no amount of exercise, no amount of anything is going to work, because you're going to revert right back to your identity. But if you can change your identity to, I am a fit and healthy person, and work on that belief structure, that is the only way that those things will actually take hold in your life. So overall, I started off talking about winning and losing. It all comes down to the choices and the decisions that we make, and the urgency that we have, especially as we start to get older and a little bit wiser, that we're not going to live forever. So why live less than the best life you can possibly live? It just doesn't make any rational sense to me to become less of a person so others don't feel bad about their life situation. You don't criticize them for their choices, but you also don't listen to their criticism of you. And your wins, regardless regardless of what anybody tells you, are not their losses. Their losses are based upon their choices in life. So don't allow anybody to derail you from your track to success, because there are only so many tomorrows. So go out there, live your very best life you can today, and win, win, win. Take care, guys.